There's always aspects about a person that people may not like, and there's always aspects about themselves that they may not like. But it's just simply unavoidable. No matter what you do, it's a habit that's almost impossible to break, and maybe it could be used in a good case. Well, not mine. I'd say that the aspects I dislike about myself have always been the reason why I suck at everything. One of them is overthinking. I cannot believe how many times my habit of overthinking has caused me to never be satisfied with anything, even if there's nothing wrong with it. It's a huge problem, and sometimes I force myself to repeat the same thing again and again until I get the thought in my head that everything's fine, but that one tiny thought suddenly enlarges and throws away it all, and I have to start the process all over again. The reason why I overthink about random things is I always want things to be perfect, no mistakes. And if I realized in the middle of the night that I could have done that one thing during the moment I was there, but ended up missing it, I'll never be able to sleep again. One case where I overthink a lot comes from school-related things like tests. When things don't look right, I desperately need to change it. And even if it is right, I need to double check. Or triple check. Okay, fine, quadruple check. I'm always that perfectionist that fails to be a perfectionist, and I'm starting to think that this is the reason why I fail tests. Either I overthink too much on one question, or I force myself not to overthink something, which causes me to underthink something. This is also a problem. When it comes to pretty much anything, I always overdo it or underdo it. It's never in between because I keep worrying that I might be doing too much or too little. See, now I'm overthinking it again. Why does this keep happening to me? I really don't like the continuous thoughts that keep swirling around in my head, because then I'll never be happy with anything. One of many reasons why I overthink is because I'm very cautious and more aware about what might happen. A scenario about this can be something like, I forgot to complete that assignment that the teacher prompted me to do, and I'm sure that they'll remember it tomorrow. If they forget, then that's good and I can actually work on it after school and submit it by then. But if the teacher remembers and asks me, I'm gonna have to find other ways to at least have something to submit. Maybe I can text my friends so they can share theirs and I can reword it. But my friends are always the ones that reply late, so maybe I might not have enough time. But I could try and get up early to write something, so I'll have to think about what to write with my limited time, just in case. I could also work during recess because that class is after it. Alright, me, here's what I'll do. In the morning, I'll text my friends and get started on that assignment immediately. If they get my message, I'll just copy and reword it. Depending on if they reply, I'll work on it during break and I should have enough time to submit it. Worst case scenario, I forget everything in the morning. When I get a little anxious about the possible outcomes, I have to mentally talk to myself to make sure what I can do, and all the possible outcomes ordering from worst to best. Is this excessive? It's the only way I can sort out something that I worry about if I might deal with a bad outcome. But hey, whatever makes me feel better, I guess. But overthinking doesn't actually make me feel better. It really isn't much of a choice. I feel like I did not choose to be an overthinker. It just went to me, and now it's stuck to me forever. And when I feel like not overthinking something, I'll end up underthinking it. And I believe this is just as bad. Whenever I look at my own work, I have to reread it to make sure that what I put down is good. Of course, when I get a good rhythm in putting down my answers, reading it back again makes me question, how in the world did I write something so grammatically incorrect? Whenever I read something and I'm unsure about what it means, I have to look at the question again and read it word for word to see what it's trying to say to me. This is why I hate double negatives. If you put double negatives, you're asking for people to be frustrated at you. Raise your hand if you're never isn't not a bad overthinker. If there's an even number of negatives, it's positive. But think of how easier my life would have been if I didn't have to worry so much about how such little details could hit me in the face and bother me for no reason. One of my biggest fears is that I worry that I might forget important information. I like it when schedules are put up physically because it makes it easier for me to plan out what I need to do for each day. If someone is telling me something important, like a specific date, chances are I might accidentally space out and forget what they said. Then later, it'll dawn on me and I'll think, wait, did they say tomorrow or the day after? Heck, I can't remember. Why do I remember all the embarrassing moments in my life 7 years ago when I can't even remember a word that person said to me 3 hours ago? Seriously, my brain just stops working at the worst times. I don't think there's really any good parts to overthinking, because it can create such an unnecessary load of dissatisfaction. If I could get that aspect off of me, I'd be a lot more content with things without having to relentlessly ask myself, "Are you sure?" 20 times in a row. I guess overthinking is able to get me on my toes, but like in the worst way. I may not be easily satisfied with things that have no problems to them, but I can say that I'm never isn't not a bad overthinker. Wait, if there's an even number of negatives, then it's positive, and there's a never isn't not. There's also the term bad in it. I'll have to think about that one.